Now, when you consider great drummers, do you put Dave Grohl on that list?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As great drummer? Would you put him probably top 5?
I mean, you're asking the wrong person because I don't really know drummers very well. I couldn't tell you anything much. I couldn't name 10 drummers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of the few I can name. So I feel like if I can name them, they must be really good. Like I can. Okay, so there's Phil Collins, Dave Grohl,
Tommy Lee.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lee. The Hanson boys, one of the Hanson boys, Taylor Hanson.
Lars from Metallica.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I don't know the Metallica. I don't know. I know there's Metallica. I know there's a guy named Lars. I don't know what instrument he plays. I've no idea.
Drums.
So Hanson is where I'm going.
Not a great drummer. But
that's the only one that I know.
But Dave Grohl, he is one of those great drummers. I think he doesn't consider himself an awesome drummer. He thinks he's an okay drummer.
I can see that. Yeah, because listen, as a front man now, he has other drummers come and play with him, and I could see him looking at them being like, man, they're good.
Yeah, well, the drummer he has for Foo Fighters is pretty damn amazing.
Taylor Hawkins or something like that?
Right. So he's doing a sit-around talk to Pharrell, and they're talking about drummers. And he's like, yeah, I'm a decent drummer, but I'll explain why I'm not a great drummer.
Well,
because of Hanson.
I wanted to be a drumline kid. Like, I wanted to be a drumline kid.
Why not?
But I can't read music. I couldn't then, I still can't now. All I wanted to do was be in a line of drummers all playing drums.
I was decent. I wasn't like your level. Like,
Dude, stop saying I'm a good drummer because I'm the most basic fucking drummer. If you listen to Nevermind, the Nirvana record, I pulled so much stuff.
You got to explain what Nevermind is.
And Cameo and Tony Thompson on every one of those songs.
Listen.
All that. That's
wow.
It's old disco. That's all it is.
That's amazing. Wow.
Nobody makes the connection.
That's straight up.
Holy crap.
I told Tony
Mind
Thompson
blown.
I came to my house for a barbecue with somebody, and I was like, man, I just want to thank you because, I owe so much. I've been ripping you off my whole life. He goes, I know.
Whoa.
That big disco flam, like, it works every time.
Wow. That's shocking.
that somebody actually said, I stole this, and here's exactly where I stole it from.
Right. And now when you listen to it, you're like, yeah, that's a disco beat. Like if you take out all the vocals and the guitar and the bass and everything, and you only hear him banging on the drums.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said the whole album.
Wonderland.
The whole album is pretty much that. So now you got to go back and listen to Nirvana and put that in the back of your head. So
I gotta listen to disco first so I can get that beat in my head so I know what I'm listening for, and then go back and listen to Nirvana. I love that he revealed this. That's pretty amazing that he would reveal something like that. Like that's the kind of thing you take to your grave and you never admit.
Yeah.
And the fact that he admitted it to the guy at a barbecue, and the guy's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I've heard your music.
I heard you, yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Well, this isn't the first time. We've talked many times about musicians stealing other people's music and getting in trouble. We talked about all the times that Ed Sheeran had a fork over cash. I mean, really, he needs to vet every single song now. Otherwise, it's like, okay, how many people am I paying? Like, who am I paying next?
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is Olivia Rodrigo has a new album out, and one of the songs on it, if you listen to it, it sounds just like the Elvis Costello song "Pump It Up." It has that do 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 do.
Right.
That's in her song. So they went to Elvis Costello. They're like, that's a straight rip. He goes, I stole that from Bob Dylan. And then he said, what song? And you go and you play the Bob Dylan song, and you hear do 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 do, just a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
Do do, exact same riff. And then Bob Dylan's like, no, I stole that from an old blues guy. And then you go and find that, and you hear do 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 do, and then like a little extra thing to it, but so they've all been stealing from each. It's not even stealing, it's like take somebody's beat and make it your own, and that's That's why they're not pissed at each other. And Elvis Costello's like, I'm not suing her because that would mean Bob Dylan would have to sue me.
Right. Well, one musician, I can't remember if Eric Clapton or the Beatles or whatever, somebody said at one point, this is why every song sounds alike, because all music is really only 4 chords.
Right.
So to not hit those same 4 chords in every single song is almost impossible.
Right.
So if you look at all the songs that are together, all of them start with D or E or A or G.
It's only a few letters.
There's only a few letters, and that's the only ones that you have. And if you play G, the next chord is always going to be A, and then the next chord is always going to be D. It's just the way songs go. So when people do that, then you're going to end up ripping somebody off at some point.
But that's why it's so amazing when you hear somebody like Billie Eilish, who found a way to take music that we've heard a million times by now and really make it her own and give it her own sound with her voice and her lyrics. You know, every once in a while, like an artist comes along, you're like, that's different. Like they found a way to take all the shit we've been hearing over and over and over and do something new and different with it. That's why it's so hard to do that.